Welcome one and all to Dead Impressions. I am Dead Cynical, and today we're going to be looking at the first hour of Underrail. Underrail is a isometric post-apocalyptic RPG similar to that of Fallout 1 and 2. In fact, you'll see as we progress just how heavily influenced it is to that of the first two Fallouts, both game mechanics, character development, and the general gameplay. Then you've got, I find this a bit of a mix between Fallout 1 and 2 and Metro 2033, where the world revolves around a sort of railway system. I have progressed a little bit in the game just to get past the basic tutorials and the exposition at the start of the game, just to speed things up. Otherwise, most of this hour would have been just going through tutorials, talking to characters, things like that, and I want to show just a bit more than interacting and things like that. So we're going to start by the character creation. I'm just going to show you how basically it works, what it entails. You've got 3 difficulty settings: easy, medium and hard. Basically, the harder the difficulty, the player has reduced health, healing has less effect, and your skills all have increased cooldown and things like that. Oddity experience system was one of the main selling points of Underrail, and basically you only gain experience by collecting oddities which you find around the world of certain enemies and monsters and things like that. But you can also play classic, where you gain experience by completing quests, killing enemies, using certain skills, and you also gain them for the oddity items as well. So basically you can choose your name. So for example, you can go with pretty much anything you want. You can choose your avatar. There's quite a large base of different avatars you can choose from, both male and female. Then you have your skills, your stats, which is strength, dexterity, agility, constitution, perception, will and intelligence. Each of the attributes do go towards certain skills and do affect certain aspects of the game. So for example, strength is important, like if you want to use heavier weapons. Dexterity reduces action point costs and allows you to use unarmed, like fist type weapons and lighter weapons a lot more without requiring each turn, is basically what I'm trying to say, sorry. And basically each of the attributes go towards some degree of your character, and you have 5 points which you can put into any of these as you wish. You can take away as well if there's something that you don't particularly want as high as it is, and basically just make the character that you want to make, because this is a class-less game. There is no specific class. You can just go about it whatever way you want. You can have a very combat-orientated character. You can have more of a charisma style character. You can be an all-rounder if you want. It's entirely up to yourself. Then you've got your skills, which revolves around defensive, so that'd be your guns, crossbows, melee, throwing, defense, dodge, evasion. Subterfuge would be things like laying traps, stealth, pickpocketing, hacking, lockpicking. Technology is around crafting, so you can craft things like weapons, armors and traps, which is what mechanics would go with. Electronics would be for electronic utilities and energy weapons, and so on and so forth. Then you have psi, which is basically your psionic abilities. You can use various psionic skills if you want to go for that. You don't have to if you don't want to. You get an option at the start of the game if you want to activate your psionic abilities or not, and basically doing so does have its side effects. But if you want to use a psionic character, you'd have to go with it, but you don't have to. And then of course there's the social skills, which is persuasion, intimidation and mercantile. The above two more for interacting with characters. Mercantile is about trading and basically getting better deals and things like that from various NPCs. Next is feats, which revolves around various skills and added abilities and things like that. It works the same way as perks from Fallout 1 and 2. You get to choose 2 of these at the start of the game. Now, what you have available to you depends on your skills, and it depends on your attributes as to which ones will be available. So for example, armor scoping would only be available if you have 6 intelligence and 15 mechanics. Gunslinger would only be available if you had 15 in guns and 7 dexterity, and so on and so forth. So that's basically the character creation to the game. I'm going to load up one of my last save game here, which was about an hour in, say, but this again is going through all of the tutorial, that's going through all the exposition at the start, which would have been rather boring. I did explore a little bit just to get the hang of things, but it won't take long to get right into the action, so we'll load up my last save game. Right, so I'm here at Southern Gate Station, I think it's called. My current objective is to reactivate the power generator and retake the outpost in the cave tunnels to the north. There are a total of 5 outposts. You'll need to activate at least 3 of them. Now, I've had a tiny bit of problem getting around there because there's a lot of blockages and I have to find another way around, which is a bit of a more dangerous route than what it would have been if the tunnels weren't blocked off, but this is a part of the story. So as you can see, it's very, very similar to that of Fallout 1 and 2 in many regards, from basically the isometric, the combat, everything about this is very, very similar. In relation to figuring out where you're going, this one had me stumped for a little bit until I remembered that I had a compass. Basically, the compass is your source of knowing where you're going, because there is no signposts at all. Like, there's nowhere saying this way to North Station, this way to East Station or West Station or whatever. There's no sort of indications like that. The only thing you will get in relation to that is something like this, where you go from floor to floor to floor with an elevator. But apart from that, from what I can tell so far, you're practically on your own when it comes to figuring this out. It's got a bit more survival element to it than that of, say, the original Fallouts. Up here are your basic menus. Like, you got your character sheets where you can view your perks, sorry, your feats. I'm gonna keep calling these perks. Your feats and your skills and things like that. I'm currently level 2, and you have certain things that can affect your stats as well, which I'll go into in a minute. These are your combat stats, your current state, like what your dodge is, evasion, fortitude, resolve, critical hit chance 0, and basically all the things that is required to understand when it comes to your defense. Same for offense. My current weapon does 6 to 17 damage, and it takes up 12 action points. That's because I got a steel dagger. It would change if I change over to my pistol, and basically that's where you find all that. Next is your inventory. From here you can carry up, this is dependent on your strength as well, you can carry up to 170. I'm not sure if that goes by weight. I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, that goes by weight. So basically you can carry 170 weight, or at least my character can, based on my strength. And I think you can only carry a certain amount of slots as well, judging by looking at this. I can't guarantee that yet, but that seems to be the case. You've got your health hypo, which is basically a stim pack. It's best used in combat to restore your health. You can also use bandages, but only outside of combat, and it heals a certain amount over time. Food and certain other items do increase your stats, but you can only activate one at a time. And then you pick up all sorts of materials, like 5mm case, so I could make ammo out of that if I had enough skill, and I probably need a blueprint as well. I'm not sure. I know for weapons and things you do need a blueprint because I've seen them in the shops, but when it comes to actual components like actually making bullets and that, I'm not sure if you need blueprints yet. I've found a couple of other weapons which I'm going to sell. That's basically where I'm heading next. I'm just going to get some more supplies, sell off what I don't need. One thing to keep in mind is when you look at this, I immediately thought, okay, I have 98 credits, so that's the only money I have. But actually, what you need to look at is the actual value of items, because that's what is used in terms of bartering and trading, is the actual value of items as opposed to, say, your actual money, which we'll go into again once we get there. You can hold 2 weapons at any one time. I'm not sure once you use, of course, 2-handed weapons. I don't know if that changes yet. Most likely will, but I can't guarantee that yet because I haven't seen it. And then your armor, boots, and you can also put things like grenades and that in here, which you can use. And like this is a really in-depth game. Like Fallout was nowhere near as in-depth as this is. Like there is so much that I still don't know and understand. Next is crafting. I don't have any blueprints or anything like that, so I can't craft anything yet. Notes is for your quests, things like that. Here are your oddities. Basically, these are all the different types of oddities that you can get. Each oddity you can use a certain amount of time to gain experience from. So, for example, the fancy rat hound ear here, you can only find you can find more than 3 of them, but you can only actually study 3 of them to gain experience from them, and each one has its own amount that you can study it. So, like the Omega ID card 10 times, Protectorate Propaganda 8 times, the Strange Comm Device 4 times. So you can use them a number of times each. After that, you just pick them up and it does nothing. It just goes into just straight out of the inventory, and it just comes up in the message here saying, well, you've learnt nothing further from it. Then you have your interface, your help interface here, but basically gives you a quick summary of everything from there. And then you have your options. You can export your character as well, which then can be imported to play a new game. This says that you're currently in a control zone. This basically gives you the lowdown of what might happen if you do certain things in a control zone. When you're in an uncontrolled zone, it comes up with similar information as well. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go to the armory. I think, yes, I'm going to go to the armory first of all. And the reason for that is because I want to go to Lucas here, and I want to trade with him. I've only got about 14 rounds at the moment, plus what's in my gun, which is 17. But I do want to sell some of this. My knife is currently better than that one. I'm not going to be using crossbows, so the bolts can be sold. I'm a little bit away from using that yet, but I don't know whether to hold on to it or not. I'm probably going to hold on to that for the moment. And these are the blueprints. Download the blueprint to your wrist pad. Pip-Boy, basically. And basically that's what's used to craft from there on in, I think. I'm just going to auto so that I get just the credits instead of messing about with items. You can do that with so much ease. It just automatically slaps in credits if the NPC has credits, of course. Otherwise you're going to have to figure out what you want to barter for what. But yeah, I'm going to trade that for the 47 credits. I'm sort of tempted to sell that because it's worth over 1,000 in value, but I'm not too sure about that yet. Rubber sole tailoring, yeah, but I don't need it for anything at the moment. There's one thing I want to try out as well. I'm going to go up to my personal quarters and I'm going to see if I can stash away some of this stuff just to make up some room, right, of course. And then we're gonna head to the med bay, where I want to get some more hypos for when I'm in combat, which I'll go into a little bit more detail. In relation to the actual maps, things like that, they're relatively small. I find probably not as big as what you'd find in Fallout 1 and 2. They kind of, let me see, sorry. They are a lot smaller, so there's a lot more moving between sections and sections. And I found that it's not so much a problem here because you're basically just moving with an elevator. But in somewhere like where we're going to head, where you're exploring, it's a bit more of a problem because it's easy to kind of get confused where you're going. I found. Whilst with Fallout, it did the thing of, you know, it had everything in one area, and it might have branched off by maybe 4 areas, which were basically 4 additional major areas. But here, you're getting very small areas, and you have to move between them, and it can be a bit awkward to know where you're going. Like, eventually you'll figure it out, because from what I've seen so far, it maps out quite well, so you don't get too confused, but it's a bit daunting to begin with until you are familiar with your surroundings and get a rough idea of how it works. But I have to say, at first I was very, very confused with maneuvering around. It was just, I kept finding myself, I was like, which way am I going? What's the right way? What's the wrong way? And I ended up running into some guys that were far more powerful than me, and I ended up getting slaughtered. This guy is the medic here. Basically, if your health is, like, if you're injured in any way, you can come back to him and he'll heal you for free. But I want to get some of these to basically bring with me. I'm gonna bring the whole lot, actually, because how much is it? Jesus Christ, I don't have that much. I'll bring. Sorry, it's, yeah. There we go. Split. 5 change. There we go. I just want to bring some of them with me for the more combat heavy situations. But yeah, if you're injured at all, just come. You can come back to this guy and he'll heal you, free of charge, basically. But doing that, you know, if you wanted to save your items, it would involve a lot of backwards and forwards. Story-wise, so far what I know is basically this is a post-apocalyptic world. To what degree, I'm not 100% sure of yet. It's very reminiscent of that of Metro in that regard, like Metro 2033. Which is fine. I mean, I very much enjoyed Metro. It was a grand game. So story-wise, like, I generally don't mind that. I don't mind there being you know, a nice blend between what would be the standard this is Fallout and, you know, Metro. I mean, it's not a bad combo. You scared the hell out of me, man. Don't sneak up to me like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I need to get into these tunnels. Unless this is emergency, why not? Right, okay. So basically, he's not going to let me into the tunnels. Now, the tunnels is, from what I can gather, where I have to go. Because the way that I went originally is closed off. Well, it's not closed off, it's just there's been a tunnel collapse due to an earthquake. So I need to find a different way around, which I haven't had much luck doing yet. So the problem is these tunnels are full of they're called stalkers, but essentially they're just these psychopaths that like to kill people. So yeah, we got them to deal with, and they're not easy either. The combat in this game is not simple in any regards. It's quite difficult. I have it set in normal difficulty, and it is hard. It is hard because it's not like Fallout where you get these instances of, you know, you start off easy with a few rats, and you know you gradually go up, start finding some like mole rats, then raiders, and things like that. It does not go like that at all. This game puts you directly against, like, the first enemy you're going to come across is the mole rats. Sorry, not mole rats. Rat hounds, they're called. And they're a bit difficult because they come in packs. Like, you can get up to 5 of them coming at you at once if you're not careful. But I've pretty much found how to deal with them, thankfully. Now, there's 2 guys down here that have been causing me a buttload of butthurt. It's mainly him. He's the one that causes me so much trouble because he, like, just automatically cripples my knee every time, and I gain no moving points or anything like that. So yeah, you've got guys dishing out damage and all these attacks at you, which can lead to problems relatively early in the game. I'm gonna use a hypo here and end turn. And we're getting the absolute crap out of us. Now, I found this to be a bit ridiculous, actually. This happens way too often, where you have 74% chance to hit, and you could miss 3 or 4 times in a row. I mean, that is not how percentages work. Like, the probability is you're only going to miss once. But I found that actually happens a lot, where I could miss 3 or 4 times in a row, even with a 70-odd% chance probability of actually hitting the enemy. Now I'm gonna end up going through hypos like, oh, they do. Ah, oh, shite. That's problematic. And then he uses a hypo. I'm gonna die here. Dead. See what I mean by this is hard. I didn't realize that the hypos actually had a 3-turn cooldown. Believe it or not. Right, I'm gonna try with a gun this time. I'm gonna go into stealth mode. And I'm going to initiate combat. And I'm gonna try and damage this guy, because that'll get him to use his hypo early. It doesn't help that I get a critical hit done on me. Mind. Let's just... I just find the knife is a lot more effective than the gun, because like in the original Fallout, the light in an area can affect your accuracy with a gun. So in darker areas like down here, it's a lot harder to actually see, so your accuracy goes down. So yeah, this is a hard game combat wise from what I've experienced. Now, I said that about Fallout when I first started playing it many years ago, and then I found that it got a lot easier as the game progressed. Whether this will be the same is yet to be seen. Come on, there we go. That is an absolute triumph. Those guys have been a pain in my side for a while. So let me see. all your weapons have durability as well. Weapons, armor, the whole lot, so it's a bit more stricter in that regard. I think I'm going to swap these weapons out, because the one I just picked up has a lot more durability in it. Why can't I really... Yeah, just don't know why reload current... Ah, because I got the knife selected, that's why. Right, okay, so we're going to move on. I'm going to search this chappy here. Crowbar. For what damage it does, it uses up a lot of base action points, so I'm probably not going to bother with it. Now is a good time to use a bandage. You can only use a bandage with 40% health or higher, because naturally, kind of like with real life, you know, a bandage is only going to do so good to a certain extent of injury. So yeah, you do have that problem to also deal with. Now there's a dude around here with a sledgehammer that has also been causing me problems, because that sledgehammer does a buttload of damage. Oh, I wish that everything hit that time. Wow. There we go. Yeah, I'm at 45, I can use a bandage again. It takes up a buttload of action points. I don't even have the strength to use it, so it's no good to me. But it'll be worth money to somebody, so I can sell it on. But this started off in early access. Before it went into Steam, it was on Desura and Gamersgate as an alpha build, and then it went on to Steam in 2013, and it was fully released at, I think it was December 18th, 2015 is when it was released. And surprisingly, I haven't seen any coverage about this game at all in any of the websites that I generally look at, general reviewers, anything like that. I have not seen anybody actually cover this one, and I'm surprised, because of, you know, it is very Fallout heavy. Now, a part of that could have been because, well, it came out not long after Fallout 4, so that probably impacted it a bit as well. And to be honest, it didn't get an awful lot of coverage, you know, an awful lot of marketing, really, because I never even knew about it until it popped up on the GOG store. Oh god. He's got a silence pistol. That's 4 shots, buddy. That's a lot of shots. So, yeah, I know that this isn't new, but I saw this as, you know, a good thing to start off with. You know, just to get myself into a bit of practice for this new series that I'm, you know, will hopefully I'll be doing with a few times a week, maybe 2 times a week, something like that, with some new titles that are coming out. So I saw this as, you know, no better opportunity than as a game to start off with. He's got lots of stuff. Stygian coins. An image of Charon, this is Stygian ferryman. Oh yeah. Charon, the Greek mythology. Yeah, it's a silenced one. Because of the silencer, it does less damage. I'll hold on to it. I don't know whether I'll use it or not. I'll hold on to it for now. Basically, what I want to do is I want to get my level up, and I want to be able to use that submachine gun that I have here. Here it is, the Jaguar. But chances of that happening in the next level are a bit slim, because I want to sort of balance my character out a little bit as well. But I'm assuming this is the way I need to go to get to where I'm supposed to be going, because I have no idea where else I'm supposed to be going right now. So we're kind of going on a whim here. I don't have a hacking tool on me, and I don't think my hacking is exactly high enough to do that either. Right, so we'll have a look down here. So yeah, it's very much a game that just kind of appeared out of nowhere. For me anyway, I didn't even know it was in early access or anything. But then again, I'm not a big follower of early access games. Not really for any reason in particular. I prefer to play a game straight out. Now, where did he pop from? But yeah, I genuinely would prefer to play a game fully released. I have made exceptions with certain titles, but that doesn't happen very often. Oh, for God's sake. Now I have to patch up. Yes, my knife is sharp, sir. But, oh, for God's sake. You see what I mean by... He's gonna kill me. Yeah. Well, I mean, compared to enemies, like... It's a bit crazy how easy they find it to hit you compared to what you would find it to hit them. I find it's a bit unbalanced, actually. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I'm not sure why it's happening, because enemies should have, you know, roughly around the same fairness as you in combat. That was... Oh, I hear a rat hound. That was kind of always the way with the original Fallout. What's coming after me now? See, I don't see anything. That's not to say there isn't anything. Was he in stealth mode or something? Possibly. I don't know why I've got a 66% chance to hit him, yet I've had 70 for the others. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Yeah, we're probably gonna die a bit within this whole thing, but you know, we'll get there. I might actually use stealth mode. It allows me to maneuver a bit more. It slows me down, but it allows me to get around obstacles. A lot easier, I find. From the perspective of written, you know, the game doesn't seem to be too bad. The dialogue doesn't appear to be that bad. It doesn't appear to be badly written or anything like that. But again, it's early days. That could change. This is insane. This is a game that would very much frustrate me, I think. That's 3 critical hits he's done on me, and I can't heal again now. Yeah, I'm a gunner. That was me in stealth mode. But yeah, I mean, it sticks true to what Fallout 3 is. There is no denying that. Sorry, not Fallout 3, Fallout 1 and 2. It sticks to that formula quite well, and even goes a little bit of extra mile, so you know, I do like that, and I'm very much, you know, delighted to see that being the case. see, there's not an awful lot really here to help me. So I like the Fallout games. I particularly like Fallout 1. I wasn't a massive fan of Fallout 2, but you know, it understands why Fallout works. It just appears to be a bit unbalanced when it comes to enemies and things like that. Like, it ramps up the difficulty way too quickly. There's no denying that. Basically, what I know of the story so far is you start off as the latest worker, soldier, whatever, of Southgate Station, and basically the whole system of the railway is under this council of some kind, these 5 councillors, but this one isn't yet anyway, from what I gather, and you know, they're trying to survive, trying to protect themselves from, you know, the likes of these assholes that are trying to kill me. And basically they want to take over the northern outposts as it's a strategic position for them, and that's why I'm being sent in to do that. Not an easy job for my first day, I have to say, with all the monsters and these guys that are lying around. Now I don't know, maybe I'm not supposed to be here, I can't tell, but I've looked the whole way north and I have found no other way around this. Like, if I don't start getting an improvement, though, I'm gonna see if I can take... Why am I getting critical hits so often? Like, that's a bit ridiculous, in all fairness. Very unfair. As I said, dialogue doesn't seem too bad, seems reasonable enough. Maybe not, you know, don't be expecting, you know, Fallout standard of writing, or more importantly, Planescape Torment kind of writing, because it ain't going to be anything to that standard. Like, this is made by a very small group of people. Stygian Studios, I think, is what they're called, if I remember correctly. So yeah, the writing probably won't be up to, you know, massive professional standards, but from what I've experienced so far, like, I'm not seeing that much in the way of problems. I haven't really found any problems actually with the dialogue and the writing and that. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully it will indeed stay that way. I think I'm just gonna go straight north. I think, because that's where I'm trying to get to. So I might just, because I am trying to get as much supplies as I can. This can be annoying as well sometimes. It can. Yep. Okay, we're good. So we're heading north, which would be up that direction. Okay, that's locked. So now I've forgotten where we even came in. I think it's up along this way. But so far I'm impressed enough. You know, there's a doggy around here somewhere. I came in from there, didn't I? So I want to be heading sort of like up here, this way, which isn't a way that's available to me. And there's a guy down here because we got caught by him the first time. I don't know where the bloody hell he's hiding. Right in front of me. Like, how many hits was that? That's 5 hits. This game hates me. That was 4, and that was with it. with a hypo. If we can survive one more round, we might get lucky. That's 5 hits. Like that's a lot of damage. What the hell is he using? It's not a bad knife. It's actually better than the one that I have. I'll take it. Where is it? That's it. I'll take it. I don't mind taking that. Frag mine. Always handy to have around. Right. So we can't go on further. Not what? Right. I'm getting into the light because I don't know what the hell's attacking me. What is attacking me? I'm not seeing anything. But I can't even get them because it's locked. So, for God's sake. I knew there was rat hounds around somewhere. I could hear them. I think I'm just going to... You know what, I'm going to get a few lockpicks. You can get them in the station off of someone, I'm sure. Probably off the engineer. So I think we'll head back. Get out of here though. Probably through these stairs here. Yeah. That'll bring me back out where I was and then back to the station from there. Yeah. Goody goody gumdrops. Okay. Actually I was meant to come out that entrance, but still. Yeah, let's sell some equipment, get some lockpicks and that, because there's a few areas around here that I could have lockpicked, but I didn't have a lockpick on me at the time. So yeah, that causes issues. That guy there, he's a psionic. That's why he's supposed to be moving boulders with his mind. Is basically what he's supposed to be doing. But yeah, I mean, overall, the combat is unfair. I have to admit that's so far from what I'm getting from this. I'm finding it rather unfair in many regards. We only go to the armory shooting range, don't we? So that we can stock up. I'm trying to level up here as best I can, but it's proven difficult. A better weapon would certainly come in handy. Now let me see, right, he has 5 lockpicks. Right, so let's trade some stuff. Yeah, he's more than happy with that offer, isn't he? And he's got credits left, so... Well, you can have the hammer, you can have the shiv, you can have the crowbar, you can have that gun. Yeah, we're getting tons of money. You can have that one too, if he wants it. Might as well get rid of these knives. Let's see. They're worth a bit each. Do I need anything else from them? Right now. Resistances. Increases perception by 1, which would be handy because it would increase my accuracy. But that's a lot of money for that. might just come back. I think. Why does he not want them or something? Okay, so he doesn't want them. That's basically the story there. Okay, maybe there's someone else that'll buy them off me then. Let's go to engineering and see what we can find there. Might find something of interest. Might be able to get some hacking tools here actually. There's a guy over here. Harold. That's right. Do you have any stuff to trade? I've got plenty. Right, okay. He likes them. It'll give me 600 for them. What I want is an... what's this? Omni tool. Is there something cheaper maybe? Some mechanical repair kit. Those Omni tools are very expensive. Standard mechanical tools. Yeah, but it's not for hacking though, is it? Does nobody have any... I'm probably just blind and not seeing it now. That's probably what's happening here. No, I want him to take that, and I want him to give me... I want him to give me some money in return. What do I want? 600, so I want 6 of them. 60 of them. This could be done in an easier way, like just let me type in the number. That's not what I wanted either. But here we'll just split the crap out of them. Trade. There, was that hard? Really? That could have been a lot easier, I have to admit that. That could have been a hell of a lot easier. Right, okay. Where do I get hacking tools then? Does this guy maybe have them? Ah yes, this guy seems to be perhaps the one. Yes, used to hack various computer devices as well as disable electronic locks. The hacksaw! That's what we want. I would prefer one that is, you know, genuinely charged. Is there something here that can charge it? An EMP grenade. They're very expensive. Electronic repair tool. Let's see. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot here. I know you can charge it up, I just can't remember how. It was in the tutorial. Shows how much I was. There are a number of different types. They don't serve the same purpose, which is the power up. So I need a plasma core. They're like a fortune. Oh, alright. Hold on, I've got a yoke. That thing. Supercharged lithium cell. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. So I'll buy that. You stick in that. And there we go. Okay, so now we got a hacking tool. Charge up. That. There we go. Right, okay, so now we've got some hacking tools. We've got lockpicks. Yeah, we're doing good. Let's go see what we can find in the area that I've previously been to, that I've cleared out, and just see what we can find, if there's anything interesting at all. But I'm liking the game so far. I am liking it. We're moving about 15 minutes off the hour now, from what I can tell. So we are going to be finishing up very shortly. But overall, I do like this. I like Fallout, you know, and you know there are people saying, "Oh, this is Fallout. This is the Fallout 3 that we should have got," and things like that, which is something which I do have, you know, an opinion on. You know, I mean, yeah, I know that the fans of the original two Fallouts, like, yeah, they were looking for, you know, Fallout as it was, you know, turn-based combat, things like that. They weren't looking for an open world Bethesda game, really. But I mean, for what Bethesda did, you know, they did a good job. You know, I mean, it's a good Bethesda game, I'll say that much. It certainly is a good Bethesda game. That is certainly my thoughts on that. I mean, it wasn't bad. Can I attempt to pick this lock even though it's... Yeah, we'll put it in the bar. I'm just testing out if this is the Fallout thing where insufficient skill. Okay, so you can't pick a lock that it says that you don't, that your skill is too low for. Okay, right. That's it. So it isn't the Fallout thing where it goes by percentage. The higher your skill is, the higher the chance of you unlocking it. You do actually need X amount of skill. So that will apply to hacking as well, obviously. That's fine if that's the way you want to play a game. That's fine. Right. I'm trying to remember now areas that might have stuff in them. Well, we ain't going that way. That's the way that I was hoping would lead me to where I have to go, but it's blocked off. And I have nothing that can break rock or anything like that. So whether I have to find something to break rock, I don't know. But at the moment, I'm sort of guessing, yeah, I'm going into the tunnels, and that's my best shot right now. So, yeah. I mean, I think any old school Fallout fan will love this. I think this would be really up their alley. Like, it'd be what they've been looking for if Fallout 3 and 4 wouldn't be for them. It certainly has that. I don't think there's anything in that room, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to pick it. This, however... Oh, for God's sake, 35. I was certain there was areas around here that I could actually pick the lock. There we go. There's one. Let's see. Will it work? Yay! Lock disabled. And I gained 40 experience for that. Oh, for God's sake. Ugh. Really? That's locked. Can that be picked? I just want to see, because it's not giving me anything like that. This lock cannot be disabled. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So basically, anything that has a lockpicking skill attached to it. What? Oh, I forgot about this. Right, I need to retreat because, like, there's a dude there and he's got like a big gun that does a good bit of damage to me. I think that's about as far as I can explore up here. I think I might have to go down to the tunnels again and sort of see what I can find. But yeah, I think this is something that any Fallout fan of the original will genuinely enjoy. The only thing I will say is that the difficulty might be a bit off-putting, because it is hard, and I don't mind a hard game, but this one really sticks you into the deep end big time. It throws you right in there, and without any sort of, you know, with barely a floaty to go with you. You know, you do get the tutorial and that, but I mean the tutorial is very straightforward, run of the mills. There's no difficulty to it. After that, you're like thrown proper in the deep end. Now, I suppose that's the rat hounds that have activated that. That's where I want to get to. I think I can't remember what it was, but I might be able to lockpick that. Get in there. Yeah, I can pick that lock. Not a bother. Can I shoot them actually? I can. They are a tough one though. I'm actually glad they're on the other side. Or at least that one is, because he's... I haven't seen that one before. He's tough. I have a sneaky suspicion I am not supposed to be in this area yet. But hey, I smell free experience. Oh yeah, I can only fire off 3 shots with this in one go. Things like rat hounds and that, they drop materials as well. Like they drop leather and organs and things which can be used for crafting and stuff. I want to shoot. Is it dead? No. Now it's dead. Right, and okay, that's just a oh, for God's sake, I did notice this to be very frustrating as well. Oh crap, right, just reload and turn. No. I did notice it's very easy to just move off track, and then you end up going the wrong way, or you end up moving instead of shooting, or something along those lines. Now, see, the problem is I'm in combat. Ah, there's the other one. So you can't pick locks whilst in combat. Fair enough, that's logical. Okay, I think now we can go in here. Pick the lock, please, if you don't mind. Good man. And we've leveled up. So yeah, you can click on remains. I've studied them as much as I can, so it'll just do that. What have we got? Electronic scraps, bandage. I'll take bandages. You can never have too many bandages. Looks like that dude got ate by those rat hounds. Ooh. Armor penalty. What's this? All train schedule. Okay. Crossbow. Now, I don't understand the whole armor penalty thing. What's that all about? Look, you know what? I'll take it. It's not bad. He's only got a throwing knife on him, unfortunately. Well, now, if this armor actually proves to be anyway decent, I'll be well happy. Like, you know, if it means me surviving a bit more, I'm gonna be happy with that. Okay, skills. Oh, do I want that new weapon? Do I want to go with the new weapon? I do want to increase things like hacking and lockpicking. Right, we'll go with... Oh, why can I do so much of that? Why is that? I don't know why that's happening. I'm sure we'll figure it out. I can only go up to 25. Why is that? Maybe you can only go so high a level or something? Maybe that's it, I don't know. Fair enough, this will allow me to boost up a couple of skills then. I want to boost up. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright. Now we're sucking diesel a bit, you know? Right. Okay. Right, I just want to test out this armor, see what it does, because I don't understand the armor penalty thing. That bit I don't quite have to grips with, I have to admit. Luckily, every time you move from section to section, it auto-saves, so you're okay in that regards. Lots of doors. Really? Yeah, if you try to break the rocks, anything, whether you shoot it or whatever, it just bounces off of it. So there's no point in even trying to waste ammo on that. Believe me, I've tried. Let me see. Right, our other option is to go this way. Come on, I want to try out this armor before we wrap up this video. It's always the way. You always find the cool things just before you finish up, and then you can't go any further. Okay, I'm stumped at this point because like, this is north. It says to head north. Am I missing something? To the north. Yeah, I'm trying my best to head north, but it ain't happening. Because there are obstacles constantly in my way. Like fallen rocks, and I don't know, this just isn't working for me. I don't know, I'm probably missing something very, very stupid. So, if I am, please don't yell at the screen. I'm a newbie to this. Is there any point in me picking that lock though? That's the question. We'll find out now in a second. Well, it's clear it leads somewhere. Hacking 25. Do I have hacking 25? I do have hacking 25. Actually, I very much have hacking 25. Let's see what's in here. Batteries, things like that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. God damn it, we've been having trouble fighting enemies all along, and then when we actually find one, like, no, actually find a decent armor, there's none around. It's just typical, isn't it? Okay, so this leads somewhere. Whoa! Oh, this isn't gonna end well, is it? Ah! Look, I get an assault rifle off of you if I... Oh, for fuck's sake. No. This is not going to work at all. We're dead. We're dead. That armor didn't do a lot of fucking good, did it? Again, like, I don't understand it properly. Resistance is like I got the strength, so I don't really know why. I don't know. But again, I have a feeling I'm in an area that's far above what it should be. But from what we've seen so far, you know, it's enough to get the general idea of what you're going to expect with this. So I think this is a good enough time to finish up. First impressions, as is the case with this series, I like it. I like what it's trying to do. Like it's trying to be, you know, what similar to that of what Fallout 1 and 2 was, and it does it really well. I think any of the fans of the original Fallout 1 and 2 will really enjoy it. I think that, you know, there's a lot here to enjoy. The difficulty is maybe a bit much. It might be enough to put certain players off. I will say that much. Maps are a bit awkward to get around. There's no actual map, or at least not to my knowledge. So far I have not found a map of any kind, so you do kind of have to figure your way around, which can be a bit difficult because of the way that it's designed. Again, it's not like Fallout where everything was together, things like that. Story, not so interesting yet. I haven't really found anything that I could say would be interesting with it so far, because, well, this armor certainly helps with these guys. It just doesn't help against an assault rifle very well. But yeah, at least now, if you haven't played this, you now know where to get big heavy armor to deal with these guys. But, I mean, the writing seems to be okay. I don't see any major problems with it. It might not be up to complete professional standards like that of what you'd expect from a AAA game, but it's still pretty good. I haven't seen quite enough to make a full judgment on that. Like overall, it's a pretty decent game. I mean, it's pretty solid. I like the fact that it has like the oddity system, like where you can experience from the oddities. Whether you want to play just oddity mode on or not is entirely up to yourself. I prefer a classic. It's what I'm used to. It's what I'll go with. I like the idea of the psionics. I like the crafting idea, though I haven't got to try it out yet. I do like the fact that there is crafting in here, because it brings a new survival aspect to the game as well. So, like, there's plenty to like here. I think that it's a pretty damn good game, and I think that there's enough here where a lot of people will like it. The only thing is the damn difficulty spike. You know, like you sort of just get to terms with rat hounds, and then all of a sudden you're there trying to kill these guys. Now again, I have a feeling I've gone wrong somewhere, and I'm just there's something I'm not figuring out, or something I'm missing somewhere when it comes to bypassing the area that I'm supposed to go to. But again, like I'll figure that out from there. But yeah, I like it. I think from what I've seen so far, there's enough here to like that it's worth the purchase. I guess €20 or $20 depending on your currency. You can get it on Steam, you can get it on GOG as well. Like it's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. I will play it in my spare time, and I will of course have a review of it eventually. But at the moment, like see, this is where I'm stuck. I don't know how to get through all this, and I can't wield a sledgehammer or anything like that, so I just don't know. Let me try a gun. Just absorbs it completely. I'm hearing dogs though. But there is certainly enough here. If you like Fallout 1, if you like Fallout 2, I'd definitely give it a go. Keep in mind that difficulty though. If you don't like quite hard games with hard combat, maybe it might not be for you. But other than that, I mean, this is everything that you'd want. Like, it's got the dialogue trees, it's got, you know, an open world, it's isometric, it's got the skills, it's got the perks, feats, sorry, experience system, lockpicking, hacking. It's got everything there and more than, like, you know, that you would find in a traditional Fallout game. So yeah, I mean, there's enough here to like. There's enough to do. I mean, like, you can tackle things whatever way you want to with this game. And yeah, I definitely, whoops. I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a shot. From what I've seen so far, I'm quite impressed with it, and you know, I'm looking forward to digging into it. So thank you very much for joining me for this episode of Dead Impressions. It probably wasn't as smooth as I would have liked it to have been. Again, this was more of a practice run. As I go along, I'll probably get better at. The next one I'm going to be doing is Layers of Fear. It's a game that has been in early access. I believe it's coming out tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's coming out tomorrow. So I'll probably be doing a Dead Impressions on that as well, and I'll probably be up within 2 days of this one. So yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed it anyway, and I hope that you will join me for many more in the future. So thank you very much for watching, and check out Underrail if you think it would be your thing. Have fun.